Hey guys, so we are here to review for your final exam. Now the first part has been from your midterm, so if you're confused, I'm sorry about that. So here is the stuff from the midterm on. Okay, so here we go. So first we have to find the magnitude. Forgot to get this all set up. So remember the magnitude formula is just x squared plus y squared. Okay, all you're going to do here, and this is where you have to be careful of those parentheses, the square plus negative 40 squared. Okay, if you do not put those in like that, you will not get the right answer. Plus 40 squared. My final answer is 50. Okay, and I'm only going to be doing the odds, so sorry about that. Okay, so here, direction angle, we have this formula, inverse tangent of y over x. Now, we also have to keep in mind, here in quadrant 1, we do nothing. We do the 180 and 180 for 2 and 3, and then quadrant 4 is 360. Okay, so here we go, inverse tangent, y over x. Now, because we graphed this here, positive, negative, or in quadrant 4, we're going to add 360. So inverse tangent of negative 20 divided by 23 plus 360, I get 319 degrees. Okay. Now, this one, I forgot to put the instructions on, but that's okay. So here what we're going to do is convert this to x and y. Now, remember x is cosine, alphabetical. So 3 cosine of 120. Oops, ooh, I accidentally hit the wrong button. And then 3 sine of 120. So 3 cosine of 120 is negative 1.5, and 3 sine of 120 is going to be, we'll call that 2.6. And that's all you have to do here for this type of question. Okay, so here my advice is you're going to graph. Okay, here where we have the same numbers here, this is going to be a cardioid. Okay, just think of the heart, the two halves are similar. This one here is going to be a limicon because they're not the same. We have an r squared here, so this will be a lemniscate. Okay, and I believe this one's going to be a circle. Okay, again, you can put this all into Desmos and look at the graphs. So this one could look like that, or like a flat part of a circle. Lemniscate's going to be the infinity sign. Cardioid is going to have a definite like indent, and a circle is a circle. Arithmetic sequence, common difference. All you're going to do is the second number minus the first number. In case anyone cares, I graduated that year. Long time ago. Okay, so now we're going to type that in, 792 minus 1992. I was so young back then. Let's see. Nope. Uh-oh, what am I doing? Okay, that's 5,800 divided by 40 minus 11 is 29. So my D value is 5800 divided by 29 is 200. And that's all we have to do. Common ratio. You're going to take the second number, divide by the first. So 22 divided by 10. And I get 2.2. Okay, so I'm going to call this sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to do 5 minus 1, which is 4. So now you're going to take the root of 2.2. So 4 root of 2.2, and I get 1.2. Here. Okay, so now let's move to the next one. We want the explicit formula. So remember the formula is AN equals A1R to the N minus 1. So we got to find our R value. You want to be careful here. It's a little sneaky. These are not in order. So 6 and A5 to the 1296. Okay, we want to put these in order. So now we got to find that R. So the second, divide it by the first, and you get 216. Now you're going to do 5 minus 2, which is 3. So the cube root of 216 is 6. So here's my R value. Okay, I'm going to cross that one out. So now we have this so far. Now we got to go and use either one of these. I'm thinking I like this one. So I'm going to use A of 2 equals 6. And this will be my AN, and this will be my N. Give me a half second. So what I'm going to do now is plug these values in. So you're going to get 6 equals A1 times 6 to the 2 minus 1. You're going to put this into the calculator, and you're going to get 6. Divide both sides by 6, and A1 is 1. So now we're just going to plug it all in. AN equals 1 times 6 to the N minus 1. Now, because the first number is a 1, and this is a multiple choice test, this is what the problem will probably look like. AN equals that. You will not physically see the 1 there. Okay. This means find the sum. And it is geometric, so remember we have this cute little formula. And then the sum formula is A1 times R to the N minus 1 over R minus 1. So I've just been teaching forever and a day. I think the dinosaurs were still roaming. Mr. Ford does use the 1 minus R to the N. As long as the bottom is 1 minus R, they matchy-matchy, then life is really good. Okay. So remember, -3 is my A1. 2 is my R. And because we start down here at 1, here is my N. So now we're just going to plug it in. So -3 times 2 to the 8 minus 1 over 8 minus 1. Now I'm going to be honest, when I put this in, I keep the top the same. And I'm just going to do divide by 7. Okay, so -3 times 2 to the 8 minus 1 divided by 7. And I got -109. Yep, 0.3. Okay. It is going to be okay. It's negative because we do have a negative number in there. Okay. I'm trying to think, did I mess up? Because that does not seem to be right there. So let's try this again. 2 raised to the 8th minus 1 times -3 divided by 7. Yep, I'm getting that. Okay. Okay, so I realize now what I did wrong. I am so sorry. This right here is where I made my boo-boo. Because it's R. and I accidentally picked in. So you know what? Sometimes I just make a mistake. And when I did that, I lost my calculator. I am so sorry. I got negative 765. I'm just a girl, just a girl. Okay, arithmetic sum. So let's see, there we go. No. Okay, so S equals N over 2 times A1 plus AN. Okay, we start here at 1, so 25 is my N value. I need to get my first term, and we start at 1, so we're going to plug 1 in. We're going to get negative 9. We're going to plug the 25th term in, so A times 25 minus 18. So A times 25 minus 18, and I get 207. Now we're just going to plug everything in. So 25 over 2 times negative 9 plus 207. Okay, so 207 minus 9 times 12.5. 2475. Okay. One of your favorite problems. Okay, so we want to make sure always that these angles are touching the x-axis. So we're good. So we got to go find our x and y value. So this will be 40 cosine of 35. Remember, alphabetical order. And 40 sine 35. So 40 cosine 35 is 32.8. 40 sine 35 is 22.9. Quadrant 1, beautiful. Don't have to worry about any sign. Now over here, x equals 60 cosine 20, and y equals 60 sine 20. Okay. We are in quadrant 3, so remember all my angles will be negative. So I'm going to hit sine first. So negative 20.5 and cosine of 20. 56.4. And then one last time here. 70 cosine 15 and 70 sine 15. 67.6 and 18.1. Ooh, and I forgot we were in quadrant 4, so my y value here needs to be negative. Okay, so now what we're going to do is add all my x's. So negative 56.4 plus 32.8 plus 67.6. We're going to do the same thing to our y's. Negative 18.1. So negative 56.4 plus 32.8 plus 67.6. This gives me 44. Minus 20.5 minus 18.1. And I got a negative 15.7. So here's my component form. Is going to be 44 and negative 15.7. So find our magnitude. It's like what we did earlier. 44 squared plus a negative 15.7 squared. Do not forget that parentheses. And our magnitude is 46.7. To find my angle, you're going to do inverse tangent of y. Ooh, that is ugly. Let's rewrite that. So negative 15.7 over 44. Now, if we graph this, positive, negative, we're down here in quadrant 4, so we've got to add that 360. So second tangent, negative 15.7 divided by 44 plus 360. And I got 340.4 degrees. Okay, here we go. A cruise ship is traveling north at a speed of 23. So if I were to graph this, remember north, south, east, and west. So I'm going north at 23. So that means my x value is 0 and y is 23. And then the water current is traveling west. So west would be over here at 5. This is an x value, but it's also pointed in the negative. So we're going to make that a negative 5 and y equals 0. Okay, so add our x's. 0 plus a negative 5 is negative 5. And y equals 23 plus 0, which is 23. Okay, there's my component. Magnitude is going to be negative 5 squared plus 23 squared. And I get 23.5. And then last, inverse tangent of y over x. Now, be careful here. If I graph this, negative, positive, we're in quadrant 2. We got to add that 180. So 23 divided by negative 5 plus 180. And I get 102.3 degrees. Okay, is that my last one? Nope, we're not done. Okay. Here, we're going to get this into the y equals mx plus b format. We want to get rid of the t's. So here, what I'm going to do is add 7 to both sides. So we're going to get x plus 7 equals t. Then what I'm going to do is now I'm going to plug this in there. So y equals 3 times x plus 7 plus 4. And just clean it up. So we get 3x plus 21 plus 4. So prettying up, it's 3x plus 25. There you go. Okay, and I think this might be the last one, is it? Yes, it is. Okay, your father wants to help you build a shed in the back of our yard. He agrees to pay you $10 for the first hour. So A1 is 10. And add an additional $15 hereafter. So G is going to be my 15. I know this is going to be arithmetic because we're just climbing really small. And if your dad's like my dad, he is definitely not going to be multiplying 15 to my paycheck. Okay, so my formula here is AN equals A1 plus D to the N minus 1. So AN equals 10 plus 15 times N minus 1. Here, we just want to know $40. So we're going to plug 40 in. Okay, we don't need to write an equation. So this is just what we're going to do. So you're going to plug all this in. So 10 plus 15 times that. And your father will be paying you $595 for helping him build this shed. I wish you luck. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Bye, guys.